UK sport has its own drug testing policy. Cricket tries to go above and beyond with its own recreational drugs policy to protect the integrity of the game.
It's designed to help identify players with a substance abuse problem, not in relation to performance-enhancing drugs, but in relation to recreational drugs such as cocaine, amphetamines and marijuana.
The aim of this programme is to provide welfare support. It is not to catch and penalise, but to provide support and rehabilitation to players who may be using recreational drugs.
We want to make sure that we can identify anyone who might be experiencing challenges with recreational drugs and to make sure they are prescribed bespoke welfare to help meet those challenges and extend both their playing career and hopefully their lives.
The PCA and ECB work very closely together on this policy. The ECB facilitates twice-yearly drugs tests, and if a player fails a test, the PCA and the ECB will work jointly on a support and welfare plan for that player.
The drug tester, trained in taking hair samples, will visit the club. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes. A small sample of hair is taken from the back of the head, and if you're bald, it can be taken from armpits or from eyebrows. The samples are then sent to the lab and analysed, and you can trace back drug use for 3 months using this process. So this is better than doing urine analysis, which only picks up a week. It doesn't matter whether you're an academy or an England player, everyone's tested. They're tested usually at the beginning and at the end of the season, and it takes about 10 days for the test to be turned around and for the results to come back to the counties.
The PCA and ECB at that point will be notified if there is a hair sample that is positive for recreational drugs.
Ultimately, it's really important that the PCA and the ECB work so closely on this, not only to protect the integrity of the game, but to improve and protect the welfare of the players playing it.
Cricket is one of the few sports in this country, and in fact probably one of the few sports internationally that has a very active programme. It's certainly the only programme that does hair analysis twice a year, and as such I think it's been leading the field for some time.
The players view the testing programme in a positive manner. It's not something there which is designed to catch you out, it's something which is there to look after you. If you need the support, you know that you've got the option and the PCA can help you with that.
I kind of look at the bigger picture and think, yeah, the reason why we're doing this is to help ourselves, to help our teammates and to help our colleagues.
Recreational drugs programme has really come from a philosophy of welfare and holistic support. It's about trying to identify those that need support and put them into the right therapy early, because ultimately we know that if you can get support and counselling at an early stage of a problem, actually you've got the best long-term outcome both for your life but also for your career in sport.
On a first failure, a player will be issued with a 5% salary fine. They will also be required to engage in a bespoke welfare programme. Notification of a failure will go to the ECB's Chief Medical Officer, the ECB's Recreational Drugs Manager, the PCA's Director of Development and Welfare, and the First Class County's Chief Medical Officer.
A player will be informed by the club CMO, the club doctor. The doctor will go through the test result with him, go through how it might have occurred, and then he'll work with you to understand how you've got into the situation to have a first positive test. At that point, he'll try and steer you in the direction of appropriate therapy, and if there are significant problems, may have to think about the wider picture, but at that stage it's a confidential process and no one else is involved.
On a second failure, a player will be issued with a 10% fine of their annual salary. At this point, the county's CEO will also be notified.
You may have a gambling issue, you may have some alcohol issue, you may have a drugs issue, you may have some well-being issues related to your mental health. And then we'll try and formulate the best programme to further support you.
On a third failure, a player will be issued with a 1-year ban from playing.
It's probably clear the message hasn't quite got home, and you're going to need time out to try and address the issues that are underpinning your sort of repeated decision making and drug taking behaviour.
On a fourth failure, a player will be issued with a further 1-year playing ban.
The PCA have a support network that's using clinical psychologists, counsellors, drug experts, gambling experts. And so after you've been assessed and worked with one of those individuals, they'll put you into a programme of support to try and move you forward. And that's something that's occurred quite frequently now, and a number of people have gone through very successful therapy to help them, and in fact have really welcomed the input and help that's come through it.
We already know that we've been able to support a number of players who have failed a test but have rehabilitated and now have successful careers.